Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new TV show spoiler breakdown here at Max Talks Movies. And we're going to be talking about season 3 of Atlanta on FX and Hulu. This is the first time the show has been on since 2018. The show stars Donald Glover, Brian Tyree Henry, Zazie Beetz, and Lakeith Stanfield. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the bell, do movie reviews, TV show reviews, streaming platform reviews, movie rankings, box office breakdown shows. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Also comment down below. This is a full spoiler talk of Atlanta season 3. Once we get into really past season 1, I kind of just like when it's season 2 or beyond, I just like talking about spoilers. There's not really much to promote. If you haven't seen the show before, I feel like there's no reason. So I just want to talk to those people who are still watching the show. So let me know your thoughts. Is this your favorite season of Atlanta? Are you sad that we really have one more season? Is this your least favorite? Tell me what are your issues, positives with the season. Let me know in the comment section down below. And also please like the video, guys. The thumbs up on that. It really helps the channel just as much as subscribing, because it does help the algorithms for more people getting recommended this review. So please like that video. It really helps the channel. So this is definitely one of my favorite comedy TV shows of the last 10 years. This is a definitely different experience watching the show, because at the time of both season 1 and 2, really none of these main 4, really Glover was the only person who was really mainstream. The other 3 were not really 4 unknowns in the acting sphere, and they are now all very famous, doing a lot of different things in Hollywood. And it feels like they're all they're so busy right now. And it's weird now watching the show back this season with them now being very famous actors. If you're just like me who watched the show when the first 2 seasons came out in 2016, 2018, Brian Tyree Henry, Zazie Beetz, and Lakeith Stanfield were absolute nobodies in Hollywood. And now you see them popping up in everything. So it is, as I said, a really unique experience. And I've been really telling people, even if they haven't seen the show, how excited I am for particular projects, because these 4 people are involved. So it's fun now finally getting to season 3. A 4-year layoff. Obviously everyone was super busy, and now we are told that next year will be the last season of the show. So let's get into some of the spoilers, positives, negatives, all that stuff, and I'll give you my score at the end of the video. And once again, this was another fun and really good season of Atlanta from start to finish that brings up a lot of great topics, a lot of great metaphors, and a lot of realism in this show. Now, I do want to say, as you probably know, 6 of these episodes included one member at least of the main 4 cast. There were 4 episodes in the series, which were basically side episodes without the 4 main characters, that were pretty much side stories talking about different things involving race. So I think that's a good way to break things down this season. So let's actually start with those 4 side episodes. We start off with a really scary, haunting opening episode called 3 Slaps, which is a haunting way to start this season. It really felt like a Jordan Peele type episode that he could have directed. It was a scary thing about this kid being adopted by these white parents, and how they were just trying to kill themselves and their Black adopted children. It was a horrific episode, really from start to finish. And then we end with kind of seeing that it was maybe Earn's dream, but it was a haunting one. I actually loved the way we started the show. It really gave you something to think about for the rest of the season. Episode 4, so I'm going really quick because it's 10 episodes. There's a lot to talk about. Episode 4 is called The Big Payback, which stars Justin Bartha from National Treasure fame. He plays a person who is getting basically all these African-American former having in their family lineage, they had in their family, they were people who were slaves. So they're acting on the generation to see if they can get their money back from when their family members were slaves. I thought that was a really powerful episode because it felt real. Like that could actually happen today. Very scary, well performed by Justin Bartha. And I give him a lot of credit. Let's find into the next one. That was episode 7. Even though it did have, that was a really interesting episode too. I think it was my second favorite of the 4 side quests. After the death of their nanny, Sylvia, a family is introduced to a different cultural experience in saying goodbye at the funeral. Great episode. Great acted. Again, felt like something that was real. And that's what a lot of these episodes feel like, is that they're kind of, yes, they are sometimes metaphors, but sometimes this thing it feels almost too real. And then you get episode 9, which was I thought one of the best, if not the best episode of the series. Definitely best of the side series, which was about this kid named Aaron, mixed race, down on his luck. A mixed race high school senior attempts to win a full scholarship to college by proving he is Black. This was a really powerful episode about when you choose your whiteness, when you choose your Blackness, and the opportunity of you don't have the money to go to college, and they say everyone can go to college only if you're Black. And I thought that was a really good twist on the episode, and really had a lot of metaphors, and it had a good things to say about being mixed race. Not every of course mixed race person has this with them, but is an identity balance, and I thought they did a great job showing that. So those were the side episodes. Again, this main forecast did such a great job this season. They really do have you bought in again with the Earn and Van relationship, because Van does tag along with their trip. Again, they are not in Atlanta for the entire season. This is the first time in the show. There's nothing of Atlanta in this show. They're in New Amsterdam. They're in all these places. Episode 2 with being in New Amsterdam and having that racial Black, like Santa Claus type situation, that was, and I researching on that scene that was actually a true thing, was kind of scary. My favorite subplot with the main 4 was actually Lakeith Stanfield, who in episode 3 meets up with this person, with this fashion designer, takes her to a Nigerian restaurant because Darius is Nigerian. By the way, Lakeith Stanfield, my favorite part of the show, I'm one of the biggest Lakeith Stanfield fans out there. So happy he's gone. Again, tons of work since this show. He's so funny as Darius, and still the scene stealer in the show. But he takes this white woman to this Nigerian restaurant. They obviously, she really likes it. Next time he goes down there, he sees that the restaurant is closed, and she bought it from these authentic Nigerian people who were running the restaurant. And she made a food truck out of it, gives him something to eat. Like, this is just weird that all of these actual Nigerian people who made their restaurant on their own had it bought out to these white people who made a food truck out of it. Again, it's dark comedy done very well. And I think using that, again, felt real, but also dark comedy of it, I thought was very well done. Paperboy has some really funny stuff. Brian Tyree Henry continues to deliver in the show. The white fashion episode, where he's trying to actually help the Black community, and how sometimes they just say things for TV purposes. And sometimes he actually does care about putting these things together. This is just such a funny, dark comedy done so well. The most shocking part of the whole season was episode 2, where Darius and Van go to this like funeral because I find this address on a coat in a shop, and Darius is like, we have to go do this because this says it on here. And they go to this place, and you see this guy has a towel over him. He looks like he's definitely dead. Van like sits there, and Van says like the last prayer, and you realize that this guy was tied up, not dead, and a thing comes down and kills him right in front of Van. The most shocking part, maybe in the entire show, I was taken completely off guard. I definitely thought he was already dead, and the fact that it killed him just right in front of Van, they really made you put yourself in her shoes. Zazie Beetz has, I think, the most to do out of the main 4 cast this season, especially with having herself really be in the last episode. We've had some fun cameos. I think it was episode 8. Yeah, episode 8 had the cameo from Liam Neeson, and episode 10 had the cameo. The season finale had a cameo from Alexander Skarsgård. That was very funny. But Zazie Beetz' Van is all of a sudden French in the season finale. And then she kind of gets turned around by her friend from Atlanta. Having her kid is Earn, the right person for her. And I think it does set up, again, the most interesting dynamic of the show is Earn and Van going to make this work in season 4? Again, this main 4 cast is just money on screen. There's a reason why they're all getting work outside of this show, off of this show. Donald Glover directs many of the episodes this season, as well as, of course, his all-time collaborator, Hiro Murai. 7 episodes in total of the 3 seasons have been directed by Glover, including, I believe, the last 2 episodes, which were very powerful episodes. I thought the 2 maybe strongest episodes of the show. So overall, some negatives I do want to say. My main critique with the show this season has been a critique of the show itself. The only thing I'm really holding it back me for being holding it back just a bit is that sometimes they do like 2 straight episodes with the big 4 here, and then you feel like you're getting into a groove with our main 4 cast, and then it kind of cuts off and goes on to a side episode where they're not in it. I do think kind of doing that is a risk of just the pacing. Sometimes you get so invested because I love all these 4 characters, and there are weeks, and even though there's some, again, I think all 4 of the side episodes are great, I think you are missing the main 4 cast in those episodes. I think they might need to cut down a bit on it or try to tie in those sub episodes very much how they did with the last episode of the season, with just having Van do this whole extravagant French episode. That's cool because Van is in the main role of doing something totally different that you've probably never seen Zazie Beetz do. So that was very interesting. But as I said, they need to cut down those side episodes because at times you're getting into it, and then they say, we're actually going to pause another week, especially with a weekly show. It is tough to keep people going if your main characters are not in every single episode. So I'm going to give Atlanta season 3 a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to give it an 84% this season. I thought it was a great season of Atlanta. Cannot wait for season 4. Still remains one of my favorite comedy shows of the last 10 years. Can't wait. And we had a post-credit scene setting up Earn. Cannot wait to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe. I am releasing this on Friday, the same day, releasing at the same time as this, around the same time, will be my spoiler review of the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Cannot wait to bring you that spoiler breakdown. Also on Sunday, you're going to get my review of Top Gun Maverick. Monday, my box office breakdown show. And then back on Wednesday, you'll be getting an episode 3 spoiler breakdown of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then, so there's so much coming down the channel. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys.